Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Golden Sun. In the last part we got here to support the Toby-bound ship, and now we're going to continue on and hopefully set sail. First off, in the captain's quarters we got a nut. And now we actually have a cutscene. Now these characters who I gave voices to last part, I'm not going to do because I remember they are not that important. Anyway, they're still resisting setting sail, though they're about to apparently, which is the weird thing. So preparations are being made, and these guys actually realized they were actually being a bit rash. So I guess they're not Bostonians. They're more like Springfieldians. But anyway, this guy just notices that he's at a dangerous sea because there's apparently some really bad stuff going on in the ocean. Which is fairly obvious for a JRPG, but oh well. Apparently some of the monsters even jumped on board and attacked the crew, which is very dangerous. And the replacement ship was likely attacked as well, so they're gonna need warriors around to protect them. And apparently Uranus and Jake, as the other guy's name is, I believe, are willing to help out. Sean. Why did I say Jake? Why the hell did I say Jake? Oh, you know what it is? Because I was talking with my friend Jake last night. Sean. Though that brings back weird flashbacks of Battle Network 2 or 3. Yeah. Anyway, they're also going to need some people to protect the oarsmen. Guess who's gonna end up getting that job? But apparently the Lucky Charm is missing! You know that anchor he talked about last part? And because of that, he's not gonna set sail because he doesn't have a freaking plastic anchor. Mind you, I understand good luck charms, but still, man, you have a job. You get paid for this. So we're not gonna leave. But if we find it, he will set off. Now here's the thing, this blue guy next to me... You might recall last part, he headed into the cabin and he was going to do something with that anchor. If you use mind read on him, you find out where it is. However, I already know where it is by heart, so we're going to have to go out of our way to get that itself. So let's head on down the ladder and outside. And up the mast. And if you investigate right here, you find the anchor. It's a pretty crappy hiding place. In fact, I'm not sure why he would have even lost it, considering the fact there's only so many places you can check on a ship. But oh well. So let's give him that charm. And why do I still have that antidote? I should probably throw that out off screen. Yeah, we found it for you. And now they're going to be able to set sail. Though Sean still has some problems, because since the thieves thick of monsters, they're going to need someone to protect the oarsmen as stated earlier, and he has us in mind. Though it says things, considering they think they look... Because even though we look young, apparently, we're forces to be reckoned with, which says things. When 16-year-olds look stronger than those looking to be in their mid-20s. Guess they're only level 5. So the ship's gonna take off, with one thing left to do. In case... Well, pretty much what the captain's here saying is... In case the oarsmen get injured by the people, the tour guide's gonna need to ask the people who are on the tour if they would be substitute rowers, just in case. This is gonna tie in with something later on. And by later on, I mean in like 15 minutes. And now we're good. So now we actually have to head back down to below deck, where we saw the oarsmen last part. As usual, you can talk with the people for some extra dialogue, but I don't want to do it. And now this guy here is explaining everything to these people. It's also, it says things when this guy says that we've seen more combat than this guy ever has. Let's say that again. 16-year-olds have seen more combat than a guy looking to be in his 40s, 50s. I'd say that's new, but a lot of JRPGs have that. It's one of the better things about Final Fantasy VII that I can give that game. Most of its characters are in their 20s plus. I think the only one that's not in their 20s plus is Yuffie. I think she's like 16, 17. Well, no, actually, I think Aerith might be 19. It's been a while. Either way, now we're finally gonna set sail. And they're also, by the way, I forgot to mention it, they're tasking us with the replacement rowers in case someone gets injured. And since they're tasking us with it, that means it's going to happen. As is the law of JRPGs. If something is said not to happen, it will happen, and if there's a legend, it means it's true. And also, past technology is somehow more advanced than current technology. Yeah, okay. And we set off. On a really slow-moving boat. Well, actually, no, it's pretty fast for a boat at this time. Anyway, first monsters appear. Not sure how these squids are flying, but okay. And also, this is weird. Sean just said to turn to starboard slightly. This is the only time he makes that point. He never brings up the idea to do that again, which I find odd. Anyway, those squids got down here, and as you can see by someone on the floor, they knocked out one of the oarsmen. And well, we have to take out the beasts, so let's do that. These monsters are man-o'-wars. 137 HP, weak to fire, strong against water, can drop an antidote, and they can poison you. Nothing big aside from that. Honestly, don't use any Jin here. Just do normal attacks. I can tell you for a fact, it'll end up better that way. And they're missing an oarsman. Obviously. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, this cutscene gets repeated 3 times. No, I think, no, 3 or 4. One of the 2. Anyway, we have to go ask one of the passengers to row. Now, for something I'm going to do now, you need to get 4 specific people in one specific order. First off, we want to make the guy in the green cape on the lower right of the screen do something. If you're looking for text walkthroughs, you can usually tell which one you want just based off the text. Like, this final gentleman is who we want first. After that, we want the bald guy to my upper left. Then the chef, then the old man. I'm going to reiterate that as we go through, though. Doing that in that order, as I shall do, will get us to a certain area a bit earlier than you're supposed to be there. People who have played the game a lot probably know what I'm talking about. Really, aside from that one order, I think if you just do the 4 people in any order you want, aside from that one specific order, I think you end up in Tulby no matter what. Of course, anyone who wants to remedy that statement can do so in the comments, so please go ahead and do that. There are times where I like being pointed out that I'm wrong. Sometimes. Also, seagulls, which reminded me of the ending of Final Fantasy VI, and Yoshi's Island, due to the way they're animated. And we got more monsters. Why are there bats on the ocean? Or lizards? Yeah, okay. And like the last time, guys knocked out, we had to take out the monster. Or monsters in this case, because it's more than one variety. Anyway, these monsters are lizard fighters, 212 HP, weak to fire, strong against water, will drop a nut, and they can use water blessing, which is a water type attack. And rabid bats. Rabid bats have 125 HP, weak to wind, strong against earth, can drop a sleep bomb, and they can actually suck some HP from you and restore their own with it, I believe. And then they have an ultrasonic waves attack, which I think inflicts a stale ailment. Status ailment. Alright, that was a word. And like last time, we have to replace the guy. As I mentioned last time, as soon as this little cutscene ends... Come on. End already. I really don't like it when cutscenes like this are repeated multiple times. As long as there's something new, I don't mind, but still. Well, actually, at least this time I accidentally selected no, so you got to see the no dialogue, but still. As I mentioned earlier, the guy we want to get for the second rower is the bald man in the top left right here. I'm surprised that there's no repercussions for getting these guys to do this stuff. And yet again, this cutscene. Although I gotta admit, I do like the way the water looks over there. Because if there's anything that's really hard to do in games, it's water, but specifically flowing water is the really hard thing to do. But when still water is done right, it looks really good. Like, The Last of Us did that pretty well, in my opinion. Though flowing water, even in games that look great, like L.A. Noire, that can still be really hard to do right. Have I ever seen a game that does realistic graphics that has good water? I don't think I actually have. Unless it's like 3 frames repeated over and over again, like yet again, L.A. Noire. In the fountain, it had really like 3-frame water. Which looked good from a distance, but not up close. Anyway, that monster came out of nowhere. And more mana wars. Third verse, honestly same as the first. Got more monsters to kill. We're getting this section done in one video, by the way, just because I don't want to have to bore you guys with this for, like, 2. Next new enemy is a Virago, 185 HP, weak to wind, strong against earth, can drop an elixir. And they have a Banshee Howl, which I think inflicts a status ailment, or does it just do damage? Either way, nothing too bad. Really nice sprite, though. I just realized you can see the pirates in the background of... Well, not pirates. You can see the crew in the background of the battle background there. I never noticed that. Huh. Cool. Then again, whenever I play the game, I'm generally paying attention to the menus and such, so I don't blame myself for not noticing that. Actually, the battle backgrounds look really good in this game overall. We've yet to get to my favorite one, but we'll get there eventually. Anyway, the next guy we want, as I mentioned earlier, is the chef. Which honestly makes sense for a choice, because chefs generally have fairly muscular arms, considering the fact they have to knead, especially Italian chefs, at least all the ones I know, because they have to knead all that dough and stuff. That can build up some muscle. And if you're wondering why I know Italian chefs, some of my family owns a bakery. Over in Philadelphia. Pretty good stuff, too. Cannolis. Well, actually, not so much cannolis as it is the cakes for me, but that's just me. Though their sandwiches are fantastic. Well, it's not really a bakery, it's more of just an overall, like, cafe with a bakery inside of it. Anyway, enough about my family. No, actually, the overworld water reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy VI. Well, this is different. I wonder what's wrong. The ship shouldn't be rocking this badly. And based off that music, you can probably tell we have a boss battle on our hands here. Isaac, up on deck. And we have to help them. If this ship sinks, everything we've done will mean nothing. Let's go bag us some sea monsters. And it's at this point, before heading up those stairs, because doing that will send you right into the boss battle, I recommend you unequip all of your Jupiter, Mars, and Venus Jin. However, I recommend you might keep Quartz on, because the level 4 summon for the next level summon for Venus only needs 4, and Quartz can be useful for reviving a downed ally. Anyway, it's time to release the Kraken. The Kraken has 2400 HP, weak to fire, strong against water. Gets 2 attacks. Has a Dark Blessing, which I think can blind you to some extent. Drench, Ply, which means it can heal. It can poison you. It can do a Spinning Beat, which really hurts. Has a Water Blessing attack, and Froth Sphere. A lot of good attacks, and I recommend throwing out your best summons right at once. Doing so will get over half its HP down. And we've already seen Thor. He actually reminds me a lot of the dwarves from the After Years. Judgment here is actually one of my favorite attack animations, especially in Dark Dawn, where it looks like a freaking mecha. Then again, I just love Dark Dawn, if you haven't noticed that by now. And that reminds me of Link's Awakening. That's a good 1000 HP there. Got critical hitted. Yeah, Dark Blessing there, I think, can blind you. I forget if blind is actually a status ailment in this game. Delusion. It's probably the same thing, really. Anyway, we accidentally used the black materia, so we've just doomed the world. Sorry, Earth. But yeah, that did a lot of damage. That's about, let's see, 1,700. Yeah, about 1,700 HP gone. Now, the important thing to remember about the Kraken is that he hurts. If you are not prepared, or have anyone healed up, don't be surprised if you get criticaled out of nowhere, or at least hit out of nowhere, and get taken out. And if you don't keep in mind the fact that this guy has 2 turns, he will kill you. Like, I honestly probably should have used a healing item there with Ivan instead of just doing that. If you're wondering why I'm saying that, well, just take a look at what he does to Ivan now. Ow! Actually, Frost Sphere, I just realized, is just a blue version of Fireball. And, thankfully, the really bad thing about me is that Ivan's generally the character that goes down the most, no matter what playthrough I'm doing. And I always give the Waters of Life to him. So, you're gonna want to have Quartz on not standby. Sadly, he's not, he's one of the ones that Isaac used when he summoned Judgment. So that's a tactical error on my part, but oh well. Probably won't happen again. And it's also when he's low on HP that he'll start using Play with his 2 turns, so he'll recover about 200 HP. And if you're wondering why I'm not outright killing him, I want Ivan to get that experience, because when a character's down, they don't get the experience. So, yeah. Thankfully, I at least paralyzed the guy. So let's revive Ivan, and then have characters do things. I forget if Jin have priority. Actually, no, I don't think there's any real priority moves. I think it all depends on your agility, unlike Pokemon and Final Fantasy. But yeah, once everyone's good and healed up, and so he doesn't accidentally kill you, just go all out, really. He's nothing that hard. He can hurt you a lot, but he's no big threat. Unlike the Kraken from Earthbound, which really can kick someone's ass. Now you see, he wouldn't have gotten that level up if I hadn't brought him back from downing. Anyway, we took out the Kraken, but we lost one last oarsman. And he's gonna go check the hull, so we need to get someone for the ship. As I mentioned earlier, you want the old man there on the top left of the screen to be the 4th member. I think it's at this point, actually, that balance factor really comes into play that the guy may have brought up before the whole trip even started. As far as I can tell. And because of this specific setup, when the outside of the boat starts showing, you're going to notice that, as soon as this cutscene goes, really, there's too many of these. I honestly think when he goes upstairs, it should just cut right to the next boat segment. Earthbound, this ain't. Come on, show the outside segment, please. Did I just say segment? I think I did. Alright, here we go. Because of my setup, we're now slightly going north, along with our westerly direction. And doing this actually brings us to an area you're not supposed to know about until much later. We won't be here for long, like we'll be only here for most of the next part, I want to say, but still. And as this guy's noting, he doesn't recognize this place, so this is an island that even experienced seafarers like this guy are unexperienced with. And since he needs time to check where the position is, we're going to take a stop there. This is entirely optional. In fact, you don't even have to go to onto the island. You can just talk to the guy in the next part he'll give us a choice to go on or not, and if you choose no, you'll just go right for Tolby. I believe. I think that's how it works. It's been a while, as I've mentioned multiple times at this point since I last played the game. And everyone is realistically kind of nervous that we're on unknown area. But at least they get a rest period, so that's the thing. Because they've been rowing for about 15 minutes. Which is... Actually, no, even then that would be really arduous work. Because I'm not sure if you guys have ever had to row boats, but that really starts to hurt your arms. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 19, we'll be checking what the hell that island is. See you guys then.